everybody, Strangers103 here, 23rd of December, the day before, well, at least most people over here in Norway celebrate our Christmas. I know 24, 25 and December. Not gonna go into detail about that, however, I wanted to start this one off with a North American server replay. That's right, I finally created my North American server account to go farming seals in Hakuryu eventually sometime down in the line, maybe 3017 year. We can get lucky enough to maybe see some content regarding that anyways. Starting this off, this is the second game I played in my Chikuma on the NA server, so I'm probably still having the nuke protection without getting put into normal matchmaking. Not like it matters, because right now, if we have a look at it, you can quite clearly see that there aren't that many ships around. In fact, there are only 7 ships per team. Enemy team gets 2 St. Louis, we get a Colebrook and a St. Louis. 3 Chesters for us, they get 1 Weymouth and a Dresden. We have a Chikuma, they have a Chikuma, they get a Samson. Instead, we get the, well, the Weymouth. And at the bottom, of course, I've shuffled this team list around a little bit. Now, note the fact that I am, in fact, using premium consumables because I actually remembered to stick them on. Anyways, the reason I wanted to show this to you guys is because, well, first of all, I just wanted to announce the fact that I actually properly have a North American server account, slowly grinding through this. This game was the one that let me reach account level 5, so finally get access to my free experience. We'll probably save that up for some of the more painful carrier grinding that I eventually have to do. Considering the fact that I'm well, I guess you could say reasonably skilled player, the initial tiers should be no problem whatsoever. Anyways, while we're waiting for this piece of the ship to actually maybe get moving somewhere fucking useful, let's have a quick talk about some random stuff. Actually, recently, I actually was on the stream with Aru. We were discussing some of the German destroyers and some other random crap, and the day afterwards, I asked Taki, our World of Warship, well, our Wargaming EU Super Test manager, if you want, as our first enemy comes into sight, out of fucking range, of course. I asked him regarding the NDA and content embargo, and this is something that I've always been a bit confused about. Game, fuck you. He actually said that super testers are not really supposed to be streaming content that they have access to after a community contributor embargo ends, and this is something I've never actually known. It's interesting. But I can confirm that with him, so apparently we're not really supposed to, so okay. So sometime soon down the line, I'm going to, I guess, apply for community contributor status so that I would actually be allowed to show you guys new stuff, because fucking reasons, you know. Yeah, with that out of the line, we're finally getting our first hits against the enemy St. Louis, but again, we've got a lot of firepower on our team engaging him. However, our chest is not looking too good. A large amount of his health just vanished. I set the St. Louis on fire with 1 fire. He's currently got 2 burning on his deck, taking a large rain of high explosive shelling coming in on him. Right now, positioning myself so that I am unable to be shot at by the rest of his teammates. However, that should not be a major problem considering the fact that I have 2 ships further up on the front than me, which means chances are they're the ones that are going to be getting crapped on, and I won't. Anyways, I noticed this enemy Chikuma has lost her engine, so, well, no reason not to shoot at it. Chikuma seems to have this tendency. I've lost my engine like twice in the first game, and this is why I run premium consumables, because it does certainly help. He's down on it, but I'm trying to get a shot on the enemy Weymouth, but that's a no-go. Sending my rear turret at him, just because that's the direction he was pointing, as the enemy St. Louis comes back into a position for me to engage, and I definitely want to finish off the St. Louis first, as I managed to set another fire on. The reason I want to get rid of the St. Louis first is because that thing's got a fuckload of guns. Even though, you know, it's currently burning, I still don't want to just let the fires kill this guy off, even though I probably could, due to the fact that it's still a dangerous ship to have shooting at you, even if it's only shooting at you for a small temporary of time. Now, anyway, unfortunately, I guess you can say our Chester manages to secure the kill for his own needs, as I show that I suck fucking dick at this game. I can't aim for fuck. The reason I say this is unfortunate is because, well, it's a kill. And I want kills, I want XP. Kills give XP. Anyways, currently, our Chester seems to be getting, he seems very interesting trying to pick a close quarters fight broadside onto a Weymouth. Well, not so much broadside anymore, but it doesn't really matter. He's only on 2,000 something health currently. getting the rest of the torn apart, and I missed my second salvo on the wave bounce, sending it over his head. Unfortunately, he gets shot down by the enemies. Chikuma, and now, well, I'm basically fighting all of this with just the only support being the other cruiser off to my side. I managed to score a 3,400 damage HE salvo against his broadside, and that's definitely going to help me out, considering that people at this tier don't have that much health. And also, I must say, his aim is certainly not the world's best. Anyways, I realized that I'm quite quickly approaching the border of the map, just looking at the minimap, and that's not really a position I want to be in. If the enemy catches me on the border and I lose too much speed, I won't be able to outrange the Chikuma and Dresden behind, because that, well, right now I want to just have a 1 versus 1 fight against this Weymouth, so I really just want to kill him as fast as I possibly can to get that enemy Chikuma out of range. Once the enemy Chikuma is out of range, as I set a lasting fire on Weymouth, he will be unable to engage me, and all I have to deal with is this Weymouth. Of course, naturally, our Chester will step to deal with the stuff behind him, but at this point, it doesn't really matter. Because we also, if you've been paying attention to the map, have an enemy ship inside of our cap. Now, I'm going to ignore that guy, because there's a chance he's probably busy with our cruiser approaching the enemy cap, and I really need to start picking off enemy ships to reduce the amount of incoming firepower I have coming back. Because the more firepower, the more guns your opponents have pointing your way, the worse off in a situation you are. As I managed to pick up the enemy Weymouth and get him out of the game, and now as you can see a large rain of AP shells coming in against this enemy Chester from our Kolberg, almost in the enemy base. He's turning around, but he's definitely not in a good position. I knock out the Chester's engine, very useful for me, because there's a good chance he'll end up feeling forced to damage control Polydart, and any fire I stick on him from there on will stick. Managed to score another 1.7k against this front, and as you can see, the thing does not have much health. Stuff at this tier dies really fast. Anyways, with his engine still down, I'm going to shoot at him. I notice he's shooting some HE at my existing position, but this thing's pretty fucking long, so even if he's shooting it, like, aiming it at the bow of my ship, his shells are still falling at the aft end of it. Of course, keep in mind, I'm about 5.6 kilometers away from him, gaining a little bit in distance as I'm sailing away, but unfortunately he clips me for 297 damage up my stern. But the enemy Chikuma is well out of range, despite the fact that the last cruiser we had there has unfortunately gone down. But I need to start working down the enemy ships that are here, trying to work down their damage, and figure out how much health the enemy's remaining St. Louis that's ahead of us somewhere is. Thankfully for us, the enemy destroyer right now doesn't seem to have had a major impact, and the enemy's St. Louis gets now spotted on the minimap. I definitely should have a look and see how much health it has sometime soon, because I need to know whether I need to kill the guys behind me or try to kill him off. However, he has been engaged in some combat, so there is always a chance that he could be a little bit low on health, or at least not full. But I'm definitely not full HP myself. And there you go, the St. Louis is now finally in my render range as I scored my high caliber medal against the enemy's Dresden. 40,000 damage already in the tier 2. I actually got a high caliber with stock hull. The stock hull has so little firepower, with only 3 guns able to be targeted against the same enemy. Anyways, I noticed that the enemy St. Louis is perilously low on HP. And that means that pushing forwards now is definitely the best move I can make. I need to be able to get forwards, kill the enemy St. Louis, and then continue kiting one by one the enemies behind me, and fight them running away with an advantageous position for me, because I'm putting more distance against them, and since these are probably new players as well, their aim might not be anywhere near the point and experience that I have with mine, says the guy that missed away with twice in a fucking row, but those were not the world's best shells. This one was certainly a bit too far back. However, I do manage to break his rudder. So if he does have a damage control party, of course most players at this tier probably will not be using premium consumables. As I have a quick look at the enemy's Chikuma just to confirm whether he is in range or position to engage me or not. He currently isn't, and that Dresden burns down, securing my 3rd kill. This Kolberg is currently getting crapped on, but I want to turn my attention to the Chikuma, because the enemy St. Louis currently is not visible to me. However, if the moment that St. Louis gets visible and he's shooting at me now, and I want to turn so I can use the island, currently my guns are almost loaded, but I decide it's the best possible move for me to immediately turn and engage the St. Louis with all available firepower before he manages to get himself hidden behind the next island. Here, taking a presumption that he's going to get away. I slow down a little bit during my turn to make sure I don't get too far away from him, because the St. Louis isn't completely stupid. He is in fact trying to run away. I send the final salvo that I would have in range against him, turn my rear gun mode, go for the Chikuma, take down the enemy St. Louis with those shells, only taking a little bit of damage from him in return. The enemy Chikuma, now being on 1,618 health, should be an easy kill for me if I don't damage him. And considering the fact that he's 9.4 kilometers away from me, he is barely on the range to be able to engage and fire back at me. So all I really need to do is to get distance against him, so that he's going to have a hard time. And right now, I don't really mind trading upfront damage. And the enemy destroyer is a Samson, so he has a very short torpedo range and probably isn't going to be that major of a threat. Anyways, I do manage to take down the last enemy Chikuma, and, well, now the hunt for the enemy destroyer begins. Currently not spotted, despite having just fired my guns, and I take a quick punt at the NA players. Of course, this really is not fucking justified, considering I am playing against new players who have probably no fucking clue how to play the game. But anyways, I score my Kraken Unleashed against that Chikuma, and, well, hey, let's watch slow ship sailing across map. Anyways, like I said in chat, he's never been spotted, probably AFK, so all I really need to do is head to the enemy's capture point. Considering they had some ships in ours, what I need to do is ensure that our points are above that of the enemy, and from there on I can do whatever I want against the enemy destroyer, chase him down or whatever. At that point, I should still be able to make it back on time to my cap if he indeed enters it, and engage and hopefully destroy him. Anyways, there really isn't much more to say about, I guess, any of this stuff than that. Excuse me. Anyways, I've made it to the enemy cap now. Gonna slow it back down to normal speed. Entering the cap, he's not currently disturbing it, which means we knew that he is not inside of the cap circle on the other side of me, which means he didn't get that spawn. Now, what matters here is that I basically need to know, because I know that if you look on the minimap, that nothing really spawns farther to the east than my current spawning radius. That I basically just need to go around this corner slowly. And if you look at the minimap, basically watch which part of my ship and when I would actually be able to detect stuff. I'm going to take it into normal cam. And there you go, bam. So I know that the enemy destroyer is in this direction. And I know he would be basically in this area. Just outside of the cap and up there. Because of this thing called spotting radius. He wouldn't be, the thing doesn't have a bad spotting radius at all. So now, well, we know where he is, and he appears to be AFK, so I'm just going to speed this up until I do finally detect him. Looking at the points, we have now surpassed that of our opponent, and bam, we find him. And, well, he's in fact AFK, so what can I say? I'm going to get myself a free diehard. Because, hey, the guy's AFK, what can I say? Guns have not turned. AFK, he probably crashed, never loaded in, or whatever, but he's definitely not in this battle. I'm just explaining in chat the reasoning why I'm going to decide to go ram this guy, and what the fucking gameplay mechanics are that I'm going to use to ensure that I do, in fact, survive the upcoming ram. Considering the fact, again, his weapons have not turned, he's not going to be in a position to really torpedo me. Which would be certainly very unfortunate, because this is a pretty strong game that I have had up to this point. Anyways, closing up against him. Again, ramming at this kind of wave speed is basically a matter of his maximum health versus my maximum health. I have 12,000 health. I will take one hit. I will lose 9,100 due to his health. I will flood, but I have more than enough health to tank it. And this guy's the last enemy alive. He goes down. Game ends. Anyways, here are the post-battle results screens. I'm going to be a lazy fuck, so I'm not going to do any proper editing with the screenshots, just to show you this, as I quickly want to pack my stuff and enjoy my Christmas. Anyways, we can see Die Hard, High Caliber, Kraken Unleashed, Confederate, and Naval Warfare Ramming, I believe, because again, this is a new account. 61,522 damage over 88 shell hits, 1 ship torpedo, that's right, my own, and, well, 9 fires. Definitely quite a lot of fire damage picked up from these 152mm or 50.2cm cannons, or 6-inch, or whatever the hell you want to call them. Team scores, 1,293 experience for me. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, our Chester managing to pick up the enemy St. Louis could have been a great 7 kills to me and none for everyone else in my team. Certainly, I would say I carried this team's weight by a good margin. 585 experience for the second guy on my team. The enemy Chikuma managed to pick up 555, a very nice round number there. Unfortunately, still just underneath our Kolberg on the team. Well played to him. But hey, sorry, EU Unicum coming to invade the NA server. Like I said, 61k damage. I do manage to pick up 10,859 from fires. Tier 3s don't have that much health, but that is still half the health of a full Tier 3 ship. And since there were no battleships, that's definitely a decent chunk of fire damage to pick up, considering not all of them got to burn out fully. I received 5,805 damage from artillery, considering the fact that I was able to position myself where basically I sacrificed my team to tank for me while I farm fucking damage, because hey, people at this tier have no clue, and they just want to get in and shoot stuff. And as you can see, I took 4,551 ramming damage, due to the fact that the game didn't have the time to fully calculate it yet, so well, I guess that's just the way the ramming ticks function. And, well, credits does actually matter for me because, well, I am in the process of grinding. Using premium consumables certainly isn't going to be helping my profits at the moment. However, I'm just going to slowly chug my way through this to, well, get myself up as fast as possible. Now, like I said, this was a game that got me my level 5 captain, my level 5 profile service record experience, so I finally unlocked free XP, which is definitely very useful. Going to be trying to grind that to, well, I guess you can say eventually get myself a Hakuyu on the North American server. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I wish you guys the best Christmas, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if I don't catch you guys in the time between. Hopefully I'll get to upload some highlights from either the Crowning the Winter King European Tournament or just some funny stuff from my streams or good games. And I will catch you guys, if not before the end of 2016, most certainly in 2017. Anyways, Merry Christmas, enjoy your holiday season, and take care.